channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I stake one of my trailing plants, which will be my Scindapsis plant. I've been wanting to stake a plant for the longest. In full transparency, I've actually never staked a plant before, so I'm really excited to do this. I do eventually want to stake my Monstera deliciosa right here next to me because, as you guys know, or if you don't know, Monsteras tend to grow outward a bit wild, and because I have limited space, like this little corner of my home already looks very jungle-ish, but because I have limited space, I want to make sure I keep my plants, you know, designed in a certain way throughout my home where it doesn't feel like a jungle, which is not exactly the vibe I want to go for, even though I feel like it's kind of getting there. But with the Monstera, I do want it to grow upward versus outward. So back to my satin pothos or my Scindapsis. I'm really looking forward to staking this plant, as again, I've never staked a plant before. One of the goals that I had initially when I became a plant parent about a year and a half ago at this point was having a trailing plant, a pothos plant like my golden pothos, sit on a top shelf and trail downward, which is exactly what this plant is giving me right now. I just love my trailing plants. But again, I did want to take one of my trailing plants and stake it. So that's what I'll be doing in today's video, and I'll show you everything in a little bit because it's kind of hard right now. I'm just kind of standing and looking at you and everything is here in front of me. So I'll show you in a little bit each of my supplies as well as my plants. I can actually show you my supplies now. So of course, the main thing that you're going to need to stake your plant are the actual stakes. So in my case, I'll be using a moss pole. I'll be using these two moss poles. I did unwrap one, but this is how it comes, wrapped in a plastic, and it comes in a pack of two. At least the one that I got comes in a pack of two. You can buy it as a single stake. So the cool thing about this is you see the points at the bottom. You can just kind of stack them on top of each other like that if you have a tall plant. So if this was a video of me showing you how I stake my Monstera, I will more than likely have to put them on top of each other and place it in the soil. But in this case, my satin pothos, I actually may have to use both of them because it's very long and it is a bit leggy. I'll show you guys the plant in a second. So this is my stakes, and I'll also be using this Velcro, which you can use. You can use this on a number of things, but these are commonly used with plants to kind of stake them up. I got this from Amazon as well as my stake, and I'll leave all of my plant supplies that I'm using down in my description box. I got them all from Amazon if you guys are interested or have been considering staking one of your plants. And then lastly, I'll be using some shears or some scissors. I didn't get this from Amazon. This is something that I already had, but if you guys want me to find a similar pair of scissors, I'll be happy to find that on Amazon as well. These, as you can see, they remain open. You can easily just shut it closed as well so you don't kind of cut yourself, but I love these because they're very, very sharp, and anytime I'm cutting my plants or doing any type of arts and crafts, I usually reach for these scissors. So I didn't get this from Amazon. My mom actually got this from me. I can find these on Amazon as well and link them down below. So those are all my supplies. Let's get started. And I'll adjust the camera angle so I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so I adjusted the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll probably have to adjust it a few more times. And I'm also gonna go ahead and do a voiceover because my daughter just woke up from her little nap, so you guys can hear her call me. Yes, baby?
O for octopus.
O for octopus, good job. Okay, so here I'm just kind of stretching out the Velcro and determining how much I will need. The cool thing too about having Velcro is if you cut it too short or too long, you can always piece them together and start over. So here I'm just trying to find exactly where I want to place the stake. At first I was deciding, should I place it in the middle, off to the side? I decided to go ahead and place it in the middle because that just seemed to make the most sense. Right now I'm just gently, it looks a little aggressive, but I am gently kind of digging the stake into the soil. I have it there. I ended up pushing it down a little bit further towards the end of the video and off camera just because I feel like it wasn't in there very securely. Right now I'm just, you know, grabbing my Velcro and attaching the stems to the stake, and that's essentially what I'll be doing for the remainder of this portion. The stems here were so tangled. I was trying my best to be very gentle and untangle it as I went along. This plant is pretty short, but if I was staking my golden pothos, for example, it may take me a minute to kind of detangle those leaves. So that's just what I started to do. I'm getting the hang of it. It's not going to be very neat or pretty. As you can see, I would, kind of find a location on the moss pole where I want to put the Velcro, then I would remove it and untangle. So I'm just going to continue that process. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. Let me try to pan up a bit so you guys can see the top. So I think what I'm going to do, because it looks a little weird the way it looks now, I think I'm going to trim the top leaves, the areas that I felt seemed a little leggy. So hopefully you can see well, but all of these leaves here at the top, okay, you can't see. All right. So all of these leaves here at the very top, I'm just going to go ahead and trim those off. It's very full at the bottom. Again, that's just because, the plant grew a lot and it looks really nice at the bottom, but the top, not so much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just propagate these at the top and just go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that now. Alright, so here are the leaves that I cut, and again I'm gonna just go ahead and propagate these. I can easily just cut these at the nodes and have individual cuttings, or I can just propagate them as is in water. So right now I'm trying to decide how I want to go about propagating them. I have another propagation and I'll insert like a little video of what I'm propagating now. So I'm actually glad that I have these additional leaves to propagate, because from what I have now, that's definitely not going to be enough. So I'm glad to have these little additional clippings included. Here is the finished product. I think I definitely made the right decision by cutting off those top leaves. Again, I felt like it looked very bare, and then the bottom was very leaf heavy, the top was bare, so it just had to go. and I just feel like it looks pretty good. You can clearly see that on this side. I was trying my best not to, compromise any of the leaves, so I wanted to make sure that I was putting the Velcro on the stem, which is very important. And then also you want to make sure, if you are doing this at home, not to tie it too tight, because you do want to allow the plant to grow and climb very easily and not feel like it's fighting against that Velcro. So I'm really happy again with the way it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm glad that I have those additional pieces so I can propagate and make another Scindapsis plant. I'm currently propagating this plant, but I definitely don't have enough leaves. So with those additional leaves that I just cut, I'll be able to make like a little small, little cute little plant. So again, here is the outcome. Here's another close-up of the leaves if you haven't seen one of these Scindapsis plants. They're very gorgeous plants. And again, I'm really happy with the outcome. I'm so glad to add this new staked plant. Not new, it's the plant that I already had, but it's new in the way it looks. I'm glad to add this and incorporate it into my collection. Again, if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if not, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, thanks for watching.